right, another day, another adventure at the Wild Center.
Yep.
What are we going to do today?
Wild Center always pulls through. There's a lot of stuff to do here. Got the museum and all the nature trails, and today we're going to do a canoe trip.
That's right, on the Raquette River.
Yep. So it's about half-mile walk, maybe at the most, down to the canoe launch. And they supply canoes, life jackets, paddles, and they take in a little guided tour of the Raquette River.
Yep.
So it should be pretty fun today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do have to register in advance. It's $30 per boat. It can fit up to 3 adults in one boat or 2 adults and 2 kids.
Yep.
And
anyone can do it.
Yeah, so we're going to see what it's all about today.
So we'll show you on the map where we're going.
We're here, and we're going to walk all the way down to the canoe. Past all the adventure stuff, past the wild walk, down to the canoes. And what is it? About half mile, third of a mile?
Yeah, something like that. We'll
right.
find out. We got plenty of time.
We do.
All right, let's go.
We've turned onto the trail to the river. This is our first time on this trail. We haven't done any of these before because we've only ever come in the winter.
Yeah.
So
on this side of the trails anyway.
Yeah, so we're heading down. I don't think it's going to take too long. They said to get here about an hour early, but that's so you can have time to get entrance into the park or into the museum and then park and make your way down.
Checked in, yep. But it's a hot one today, so it feels good in the shade. We'll see how it is in the sun.
Yeah. All right, we've scoped out where the canoes launch from, and we're still half an hour early. So we're gonna go look at the Oxbow Overlook, because we've never been there.
Yeah, I think there's 2 overlooks over there.
Yeah, all the trails are really short, so if you're a fast walker and it's not like a super long line at the entrance, an hour early is probably a little early.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing other stuff.
Gives you a chance to look around.
Yeah.
Food.
You sure are.
Yeah, they're all over.
So one overlook is being redone, and the other one was really nice.
Yeah, it's a good view of the water, some fish in the water there.
Yeah.
Good for viewing some wildlife nature, a couple benches. It's always good.
Back to the canoe.
Back to the canoes and the hot. Man, it's getting hot now.
I know, it's very humid. My hair is starting to go nuts.
Yeah, oh man.
Oh.
Even the shade is getting warm now. Man, we're going to be baking in that sun for 2 hours.
We are.
We'll see how it goes.
We're going to have really fun tan lines.
Yeah. Should be a good trip though.
All right, we've had our safety talk. We've gotten our equipment. We've seen where we're going. We're going to paddle on the Oxbow section of the Raquette River. And it was pretty neat to see because that's actually the logo for the Wild Center was based off of that.
Yeah, we didn't realize that at all. That's pretty neat.
So we're just getting some sunscreen on. It is a scorcher. I think it said it was 77 when we left the house, but it feels like it's 1,000 now.
Oh yeah, and that sun is brutal.
Yeah.
A little bit of a breeze, so hopefully it'll keep some bugs away.
Yeah, so we're gonna load up in our canoe and hit the high seas. We're out on the water.
Yep, we're getting there.
We haven't paddled anywhere yet.
Okay, oh, this is video.
It's very peaceful out here. How you doing?
Looking good.
All right, we're coming up to the one overlook that we couldn't get to, and you can see it looks like they're redoing it. There's a really nice breeze out here.
Yeah, it's beautiful today.
Breeze makes it a lot nicer.
Yeah, so we got about 5 canoes plus the guide, so 6 canoes in our group. Maybe we'll see a bear or a moose or something, huh?
Maybe we'll see something. You're doing all the work.
This is the easy stuff now because we got the wind at our backs.
Right, I'll have to put this down and help you paddle back upriver. Okay, we gotta go catch up to the guides.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah.
We're good. We're just turning right.
Yep.
So feel free just to come close enough so that you can hear me, and we'll just talk a little bit about what is blooming on the river. I'm sure you've already spotted multiple colors as we paddle through a little bit. So the first flower you likely noticed also commonly known as spatterdock, and it grows with these big, wavy, oval-shaped lily pads that you see right around most of our boats right now. So a lot of the vegetation down here on the river is a super important source of food for lots of different animals that come down to the river for resources in the summer months. But history wasn't always like this. In fact, if you look about a foot off of the water level, you'll see some chew marks in this tree. Does anybody know what happened to this tree? Beavers, yes.
All right, so it's been probably about half an hour since we got in the boats and started paddling, and it's actually really pleasant. There's a really nice breeze, and it's nice because you paddle for a little ways and then you kind of pull off, and the guides talk to you about like the local flora and fauna, and just kind of show some interesting things in this little oxbow area. So it is a little breezy right now, but paddling has not been too strenuous, wouldn't you say? You're doing the brunt of it.
Yeah, no, this is fine.
Yeah.
I saw like 3 different types of flowers and beaver
Chewed tree.
beaver slides and chewed trees. And I think we're gonna look at some more beaver.
Yeah, maybe a lodge or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really nice. The breeze is making it tolerable out here. But yeah, you paddle for a little bit, you take a break for 5 minutes or so for them to talk, and then you move to the next spot.
It looks like a beaver dam right there on the left, actually.
As we're gliding by. Yeah, I'd say for sure.
And we learned about beavers, so they cut down the tree so they can eat the leaves up on top.
Right.
Because they can't climb. So in order to get to the food of the leaves on top of the trees, they cut down the trees so they can get at them easier to eat.
Right.
And then you reuse the sticks for their homes.
Exactly. So they're using every part of the tree. They might cut it down, but they're using it.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of beaver activity in here.
Lots of beavers out here on the Raquette River, which wasn't always the case. So we almost extricated beavers from New York State by over-trapping them back in the day. Thankfully, there are now regulations in terms of when beavers can be trapped and how many you can take out of the wild. And their population has rebounded and is doing really, really well right now. All right, but feel free to get a closer look at that lodge if you haven't seen it yet. And then we'll slowly make our way back into the oxbow. And oxbows form as natural parts of rivers all over the world. And they actually get their name because when oxen used to plow fields, they had a U-shaped piece that would go around their necks, and it was connected to the yoke that later crossed their shoulder blades with a bow pin. So that U-shaped piece began being called an oxbow. And then that transferred to other things that had a similar shape, such as these natural formations in rivers. So right here in the center, there's actually a big strip of land that connected this point to that point on the island. So it was all connected. So today, we can easily cut across and get to our docks. In the past, you would have had to paddle that oxbow again. Is anybody familiar with Tupper Lake's origin and what that industry was? Logging, yeah. So logging was the main industry here in the Adirondack Park, and Tupper Lake actually exists today because of its logging history. So to make this section of the river a little bit safer and a little bit easier to navigate, they decided to cut the oxbow off of the river channel. So the oxbow no longer has a current, which is why we have all that beautiful marshy vegetation growing on its edges. So it actually does support a greater wealth of biodiversity now that it's cut off of the main channel of the river. This oxbow, it's kind of a unique situation that we still have access to it, yet it's no longer part of the main river channel.
All right, we went all the way around the oxbow. That's the dock where we put in. And now we're heading into the Raquette River to look at one more wetland. So apparently the oxbow got cut off from the river for logging purposes to make it safer and easier so the logs didn't jam up in that big U shape. So there's no current in the oxbow, which makes it easy to paddle and also provides a nice calm area for kind of marshy wetlands. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Didn't know that.
I did not either.
Hey, next time we go to the Oxbow Lake and Oxbow Inn.
Oh yeah, we'll have to check it out.
The lake in town right there.
But I did find one plant I wanted to share with you all that tends to grow in shallow water. So what's interesting about this plant, and you may have accidentally scooped it up on your paddles during our trip today, is that it's free floating, which means it's not rooted to the ground. So all the lily pads, the pickerel weed, they all are rooted to the ground. So that's why you can paddle right over them and they pop up behind you. But this plant called bladderwort is free floating.
Isn't it
So
carnivorous?
What was that?
Isn't it carnivorous?
It is carnivorous. Yeah, so you've heard of it. Yeah, so what's really cool about this plant is it doesn't have roots and it's carnivorous. So that means that it eats other organisms. In this case, it lives in the water. It's an aquatic plant, so it's eating aquatic organisms. Mostly little tiny things that you would have to look under a microscope to see. Springs open, it sucks in water and that little critter and shuts. And that entire process happens faster than we can blink our eye. So this is actually one of the fastest moving plants in the plant kingdom, which is pretty cool. So this is a different type of wetland than we have experienced so far on our trip. So the Raquette River going around that oxbow is very marshy. And here, this is that area on the map that was labeled the bog, except it's not a true bog, because a true bog is a contained body of water. It'd be surrounded by vegetation on all sides. This is technically considered a fen because it has water exchange with the Raquette River. So it's connected to another body of water. But bogs and fens are very similar. They share a lot of the same characteristics.
We just went into a different wetland area called a fen. It's kind of like a bog, but I guess if it's on a river, it's a fen. And saw some carnivorous plants. They had pitcher plants and sundew flowers, and then there were also some wild cranberries, not carnivorous, but neat to see because they grow in like a boggy area, as you know, from the Ocean Spray commercials. So we're just heading back. It's about 2:30. We've been out here for about an hour and 15 minutes, you think?
Yeah, hour and a half, hour 15
Yeah,
minutes.
and so we're heading back to the dock to get off our canoes and finish up the tour. It's been really nice. The guide was really good, very informative. There's lots of stuff out here, and since it's
different every week.
Right, since it's nature, it's different every week. So that was pretty cool to see the carnivorous plants, though.
Yeah.
Plants eating animals out here on the Raquette River today. Plants eating insects and organisms.
Yeah, so we're really on one small section where boats can go because we've been in the fens and the bogs. So we only really saw one power boat and one jet ski.
Yeah?
What a great little trip.
Yeah, it was fun. It's been really nice. Not too hard paddling, although you're doing most of it. And
Yeah, it's really no current. Minor current.
Yeah, very
Wind.
easy, very nice.
Yeah, it's a perfect day actually. You know, I thought it was going to be super hot out here, but you know, it's
Hasn't
warm.
been too bad.
It's warm, but this is ideal.
Yeah, nice breeze.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna help you because we're hitting some wind to get us back to the dock. All right, we've got half the boats already almost unloaded. It's nice because you're loading and unloading on a dock and the guides hold the boat, so it's really not hard. We wore Crocs because we thought our feet would be getting wet, but
Yeah.
nope,
Not bad at all.
no. John, you've just taken off your life vest. Show us how sweaty you are.
I don't think you can tell, can you?
I don't look much better.
It's a hot one, but it doesn't feel too bad. It's nice out the water.
Yeah.
It's a great little trip.
That was really fun. All right, so that's a wrap on the guided canoe tour. It was really fun. Beautiful day.
It sure was, yeah.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to come to the Wild Center in the summertime, these canoe trips, about 2 hours.
Yep, you have to book in advance when you buy your tickets to get in.
Yeah, they book up fast too.
Yeah, 5 boats.
We just happened to get
the
Lucky
last boat.
today. There's only
Yeah.
one trip a day, I think.
Yeah, I
1
believe
o'clock
you're
to
right.
3 o'clock, 5 boats. So
Yep. So yeah, $30 for members, $45 for non-members for boats, plus the cost of admission, and well worth it.
yeah,
Well worth it. We had some kids on the tour. They had a great time. They knew
Yeah.
a lot about carnivorous plants. Very cool.
well,
So
if you're 8 or 80, this canoe trip is easy enough to do. Easy to get in and out of the boats. There's no waves. You know, we
Yep.
saw one motorboat. That's it. So you don't have to worry about tipping over or anything like that. They supply everything.
yeah, including dry bags if you
Yeah.
need them. So
It's a great trip.
highly recommended. All right, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and to follow us on social media at North Country Explorers.
And we'll see you on the trails.